Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, and if you saw the video that I made yesterday, I said at the very end that I had something planned that I was going to do today in honor of what day it is. So, yeah, that's pretty much all you know. Today, February 2nd, it's Groundhog Day. So I figured in honor of that, I figured I would actually take a look and review the movie Groundhog Day. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. This is going to be a review of Groundhog Day. So, this is a movie that I really haven't seen very much. I mean, I've only seen it like a few times before I just watched it to make this review. But yeah, this is actually a pretty good movie. I mean, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is overall like a pretty good movie. I mean, it does have like a pretty good cast. It of course like stars Bill Murray, and there's also cast like Andy McDowell, Chris Elliott, Stephen Tobolowsky, Brian Doyle Murray. So yeah, it does have like quite a cast, and this is also under the direction of Harold Ramis. So yeah, this is a pretty good movie overall. Yeah, this has an interesting premise of this movie. I mean, it's not really fully explained why this happens in the movie, but yeah, it is still like pretty entertaining. Like, yeah, if you've seen this movie, you know what it is about. It's like how just the main character in this movie Phil Connors, who's played by Bill Murray, just ends up like pretty much in a time loop where the day Groundhog Day just keeps on like repeating itself on and on and on, and yeah, pretty much just like goes on throughout this entire movie. Entire yeah, I mean, yeah, like 10 minutes in, like is when this time loop starts, and then it ends, and yeah, it pretty much continues until like the last 5 minutes of the movie. So yeah, that's pretty much just like pretty much just like fills the entire film, pretty much. Yeah, it's not ever actually really it was revealed why he goes through the time loop in this movie. I mean, yeah, it's not like something like the Christmas Every Day specials that have gone on. Like I've talked about them. Like there was the Donald Duck story in Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, and there was also the Christmas Every Day episode of Fairly Odd Parents where like they just made a wish that it was Christmas every day, and so yeah, the day just really kept on repeating itself over and over. So yeah, there was the reason. That was the reason why, like those days, like kept on having the time loop because like it was one wish. But here, it's never actually really like he revealed why this time loop does happen and why it actually does end up coming to an end. I mean, I'm really not sure like why it really did that. It's never really touched upon, but regardless, yeah, it is still like pretty funny to watch. Like at first, like when it first starts, like he kind of like does get a little freaked out by it because he just doesn't know what was going on. But then, like over time, and after like he realized it was just gonna keep repeating, then he was like just trying to like do like different things every day since like he there wouldn't be like anything that would like happen to him, like there'd be no consequences for anything that he did. Yeah, and then he eventually like does start to like kind of grow tired of it and just like desperately tries to put an end to it, but to no avail. Like the days just keep on repeating themselves. And then yeah, and it eventually does end up like we do that. After then, like he just decides that he just wants to try to make the best of the days, and then yeah, he ends up like falling in love in the end, and then that ends the time loop. So yeah, I'm not really. So, like I said, it's never really actually revealed why the time loop happens, and yeah, I guess I don't know. I mean, was this just tried to make him a better person? I really don't know. Well, but regardless, yeah, it is still overall like a pretty entertaining movie to watch, and yeah, the way they like handled the time loop situation, it is handled like pretty entertainingly, and so yeah, I do think it is an overall good movie. I would give it probably I don't know 3.5 stars out of four. I mean, yeah, if you haven't seen it before, I would recommend checking it out. I mean, I think it is definitely worth an hour and a half of people's time. So, yeah, I do think it is an overall a pretty good movie with a pretty good cast and an entertaining premise. All right, so yeah, so there's not really like too much to talk about with this one. I pretty much like totally covered the premise of it, but yeah, I guess I'll just like go through the premise of this film as good as I can. All right, so yeah, so as the movie opens up, it shows that uh Phil Connors is like a weatherman for the Pittsburgh News, and he's like telling people that there's a blizzard coming that will actually like pass by Western Pennsylvania, like it'll just miss them. And then yeah, he goes along with his news producer Rita Hansen and cameraman Larry to Punxsutawney to cover like the Groundhog Day festivities. And I guess like before I go any further, I guess I just want to talk about like the Groundhog Day, like the actual day of Groundhog Day, just for a second, because yeah, this is just something that I kind of like have questioned like every single year for Groundhog Day, like what is really the point of Groundhog Day? I mean, yeah, you all know like what like the premise of Groundhog Day really is, or just like what the what the theme of it is. Or just like the groundhog like comes out of the hole, and it's depending on like whether or not the groundhog sees its shadow or not, or for how long like winter will continue and when spring will be. Like if the groundhog like it said like when the groundhog if the groundhog does see its shadow, there's 6 more weeks of winter, and if he doesn't, like spring starts early. But what is really the point of it? Because I mean, does it even really matter? Because aren't there still like 6 weeks of winter regardless after Groundhog Day, and spring starts at the exact same time? I mean, I don't know. Am I missing something? Like, is it just like meaning like it'll start to get warmer, or if the groundhog doesn't see its shadow, and if he does, it'll just like still stay the same winter temperatures? Yeah, I just really haven't really understood like the whole like concept of Groundhog Day, but yeah, maybe I'm just missing something. I mean, is it actually meaning not literally meaning spring will be early, but yeah, it's just like saying that it'll start to get warmer sooner. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just missing something. I mean, yeah, if you really guys really do or know really what the concept of Groundhog Day really is and what it actually does mean, then yeah, you can comment on my channel and just yeah, you can explain it if you know any better about it than I do. But yeah, let me continue on with this review. All right. All right, and then yeah, when they actually do go to cover uh, the story for the announcement if the groundhog saw a shadow or not. Like as Phil is like heading out, like he's greeted by an old person from his past, like a someone he knew from his past, a Ned Ryerson, and he like steps into like a deep puddle full and stuff, and yeah, he just like also ends up like walking past a homeless old man. Yeah, and then when he eventually does like get to the coverage area, or yeah, he like revealed that like he like had contempt for this assignment, the small town, and the Hicks who lived there. Here, here, and yeah, he like woke up to like the song "I Got You Babe" by Sonny and Cher, and then he then ended up like just making like the half-hearted report on uh Punk Punxsutawney Phil, the groundhog, in the festivities, and yeah, it was then announced that the groundhog did see a shadow and there would be 6 more weeks of winter. And then like Rita wanted to actually stay and cover other events, but yeah, Phil just like wanted to get out of there and go back to Pittsburgh. But that blizzard that he was talking about ended up just covering up the entire region, and Phil was basically he like stranded in a Punxsutawney, and then And yeah, then like Phil just ended up like retiring to bed early. But then when he woke up the next day, like I Got You Babe was playing again, and there was still the same announcement on the radio. And yeah, pretty much this day just ended up like repeating itself to Phil, and then yeah, yeah. Throughout the film, like it just like continues to go on and on with the same stuff like happening to Phil, yeah. And then once Phil like eventually like caught on that like there were like since the day was like in the, just gonna continue to repeat itself over, like he could pretty much do whatever he wanted and not have any consequences for it. So yeah, so then like for the next several loops, like Phil just like did like a bunch of like stuff that he could get just knew he would be getting away with. Like he just like did some binge drinking, some one night stands, reckless driving, and yeah, just a bunch of stuff that like pretty much like he wouldn't get in trouble for since like the day would just like end up repeating itself at the same time over and over again. Yeah, and throughout this time, like I just said, like he went through some one night stands. Like he was just like flirting with some other women that he just like saw. And so yeah, he would like just like introduce himself to like one woman, and then when he figured out who they were, then like the next day he would like just like say that he knew who they were and stuff, and that he would just like start dating them for that day. Yeah, yeah. But then after like a failed date with Rita, then yeah, after that, Phil was just like depressing them for the next several loops. Like he was just like wanting to stop the loop. Like he like was trying to commit suicide a bunch of times. Like he dropped a toaster in the bathtub, and he tried to hang himself. He jumped off the roof of a building. Yeah, he just did a bunch of stuff to try to kill himself. Yeah, and then eventually like Phil then just like decided to try to stop the loophole by trying to kill the groundhog. So he just kidnapped the groundhog and then just drove off a cliff to kill himself and the groundhog. But of course, it still didn't work, and the loop continued. And yeah, and then finally one day, then Phil then just like explained the situation to Rita, and then yeah, he just like did convince her that he knew everything that was gonna happen and stuff. Yeah, and then Rita then like was just sympathizing with Phil, and then they spent like that entire day together. Yeah, but then Phil woke up the next morning, alone with the loop continuing, and then that's when like Phil decided to change his ways, and then just like since like he knew everything that was gonna happen, he tried to use the knowledge to just like make everyone's life better. Like he tried to help that homeless old guy. He bonded with Ned, and then he also like did a lot of other things. Like he learned how to play the piano, sculpt dice, and speak French. But like one night, then like as he was trying to help the homeless old guy, he ended up dying and stuff. And then Phil just like tried to do everything for the next time loops to try to stop the man from dying. And then eventually, like during one loop, Phil then like became like very enthusiastic about the Groundhog Report, and Rito was amazed by that. And then they spent the day together. And then Phil, Phil then like competed in like a charity bachelor auction, which Rita like successfully bid on Phil for. And then yeah, later that night, Phil ended up like making an ice sculpture of Rita's face, and he just like told her no matter what happens, even if the he would continue to be waking up alone each morning forever. He like told her that he is finally happy because he loves her. Yeah. And then yeah, they then just like went back to Phil's room, and then the next morning, like Phil like woke up to I Got Your Babe again, but he discovered that Rita was like still in bed with him, and yeah, the time loop had finally stopped. Yeah, and then later on, then he just told Rita that he wants to live together in uh, Punxsutawney, and then yeah, that's how it ended. So yeah, So the movie isn't really like entirely set around a Groundhog Day. It's not really like totally about Groundhog Day. Like just this time loop just is continuing, and it's just like on Groundhog Day. So yeah, yeah. So not fully focused, but yeah, I guess they just called it Groundhog Day since it does take place on Groundhog Day. So yeah. So yeah, like I said, a pretty good movie overall. It's never actually like revealed why this time loop happened, but regardless, it was still like enjoyable to watch. So yeah, like I said, 3.5 stars out of 4. All right, like I said, if you haven't seen it before, I think it is worth a watch. So yeah, if you got time, just if you got like an hour and a half, take the time, just sit down and watch this movie. I think you'll get enjoyment out of it. All right, so yeah, I guess that's all I can really say about it. All right, so yeah, so this is my review of Groundhog Day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I know it was like kind of different, but yeah, I just figured like in honor of Groundhog Day today, I just wanted to do something Groundhog Day related, and since like there is this movie, I figured I could do it. All right, but I hope you guys enjoyed this review. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.